Okay, to make his debut talking science fiction, I turn it over to Brandon Ellis.
Alright, so for our segment here, it's a little thing I called Stargazer. It's where we take to the stars and look at the latest and greatest in science fiction. Let me get my hat here. That's how legit I am. Now, right here you have Star Trek. You see that? This is a lie, because today we're not actually talking about Star Trek. Today, I'm going to talk about a certain doctor. And Doctor Who, you might ask? And to that I say, exactly. We are talking about Doctor Who today. Okay, so for those unacquainted about Doctor Who, do you know about Doctor Who?
Not much.
Let me explain. It's a little bit weird, but I'll try my best. So Doctor Who started out in the early 60s, even before Star Trek, and it ran up until the 80s. It had a very good following, a very good run. But at a certain point, it stopped. Now, the thing with Doctor Who, why it went on for so long, you would think that the main lead would be the same actor, right?
Correct.
You were dead wrong. When it comes to Doctor Who, it's very special. So the Doctor is an alien creature from another planet, and he's a humanoid. He takes the shape of us, you and me. And he travels through space and time to different planets, to different time periods. And he acts as a sort of intergalactic peace force to keep the peace and be a peaceful, loving person. Now, when he dies, his death isn't like you and me. It's a little more ugly, if I'm being honest with you. He actually does something where he regenerates. So pretty much, he changes his shape, and he can become pretty much anything. But for the show's run, even through its revival, it's always been a white guy, a white British guy.
Very cool.
It is pretty cool if you like British white guys, but there's so much. He could be like a dog. He could be like a Klingon from Star Trek. He could be anything. Howie's like a woman or like a black dude. He's just a white guy, and that's been the theme. I mean, the doctor before this new doctor was an older fellow, and that was something, but white guy. Now, in 2005, they revitalized the show with BBC, and they had the show running, and it created such a following. It was very successful, and Doctor Who has had a tremendous impact from the past up until now. Now, to expand on the impact that it has, Doctor Who did something that it has never done before, and it really shaped the course of history. Doctor Who, for the regeneration, introduced a female doctor. This is new, and it's something that hasn't been done before, but it's very impactful. Now with Doctor Who, they have something called companions, and these companions follow the Doctor. Now they have a very simple theme. They're always a pretty woman. That's been for the new Doctor Who. So they've had pretty competent women go part of the show. But we've never seen a woman lead the show. Finally, we have that. And what makes this so impactful is it really shows that a woman, a man, whoever can be the Doctor. They had an episode for Series 11 that aired, and it showed Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor. Now, it wasn't this whole super feminist, I'm a woman, I'm super empowered. It's, I'm a woman, whatever, I'm still the Doctor, it doesn't matter. I think that's the beauty of the show, what it's doing now, and what feminism could really do. Because there's one side to the coin where you can have people who are a bit radicalized, sort of empowering women to the point where they belittle men. However, the point of feminism is to put them on equal grounds, and to have something like this in Doctor Who, the Doctor who is now a woman, it really shows that it's on equal ground. It's up there, she's up there amongst the male doctors that we had before. So it's a very big stride for the show. And not only do they tackle feminism on the show, but they tackle a whole different, wide category of people. You have different religious groups, you have gay people on the show, you have older people, you have different minorities, and they're not treated as minorities, they're just treated as people on the show, characters doing things. And it's such a simple concept that we really need more in television, in media in general. I'll give you an example. I look at something like the show Supergirl. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
It's a show on the CW, and CW is very infamous for being drama heavy, for a lot of crying and stuff. That's for all the shows. Now with that, it took a little bit more of a radical stance, where the woman thing is kind of stretched out to the point of the show, rather than let's have some good stories. Now the show is fine in its own right, but it can be a little too preachy, and that's alienating for a lot of people. It's a very important cause, feminism, but if you have it to the point where you're bringing down like a whole population of men or women who don't feel that way, it could be alienating. But what Doctor Who is doing is bringing everyone together. And it goes for a whole different wide category of people. It doesn't have to be men or women. And I think that's what really resonates with people, and that's what kept the show around for over 50 years.
Very cool. Let's give it up for Brandon Ellis. Great job on his debut.